Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to do another video, basically, um, of me. When I started out, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll do some videos, um, you know, about how to paint. How to paint with acrylics on canvas. That was one possibility of that I might do. And then, of course, there was kind of another thing that I've been practicing, that I've made it a point to practice um, with these videos also. And that's just how to basically speaking in front of a camera, so that I can tell, so that I can see how I'm being perceived by others. Because in my mind, I think that like I've said before, I have lost a great chunk of hearing in my left ear. Um, so there are times when I really cannot tell just how loud I'm talking. Um, and when you can't tell a difference, like when you can't tell how loud you're speaking, for me it's like, well, I can't tell if I'm speaking too low or too loud. Am I speaking coherently? Am I mumbling? Because I know sometimes I spend a lot of downtime, a lot of alone time. I tend to isolate. Even living with a girlfriend, I have my face in the books, and I like to read a lot, so I'm up in my own head quite a bit, and so I get really self-absorbed, and um, so it's hard. So it's real easy, when something spontaneous happens, or when someone spontaneously um, pops up and says something to me. It's really easy to to forget to pause and take a moment to collect myself and gather myself, and to become what I would call mindful before proceeding to speak. Um, in a logical, coherent manner. And as I'm speaking right now, I'm realizing, and once again becoming aware, that I tend to use the phrase, uh, quote unquote, a little too much. But anyway, so I just want to see if I'm speaking audibly, and then not only to speak audibly, but to continue my my sentences audibly, because I think sometimes I have a tendency to trail off and not finish my sentences. Um, maybe I start out audibly, speaking loud enough, um, but um, but then maybe I think I'm almost sure of it, that I tend to trail off in my speech, and start to mumble where people can't hear me. I get lazy. That's what I call it, and I know it's probably not very apparent at the moment in this video, because I'm paying attention to it, for one thing. Um, but I think, yeah, when I'm just doing my thing, and I'm distracted, I kind of forget to speak clearly, and then I get people saying what, or looking at me funny. Um, so and the one thing I was going to mention in this video was again, I was out just now and running a couple errands, uh, and sometimes I become aware of just how lousy I am at small talk. Just those daily, regular, small exchanges with people, whether it's someone with friends, a social gathering, or just somewhere out in public. Maybe even just picking up a soda pop at the store. Um, I tend to get myself in a lot of trouble, because I think I get so keyed up over how I'm presenting myself, that it affects what it is I'm saying. So um, I can I just get so tight, that it affects my communication with others, and conversations. What I'm trying to say is that conversations tend to go skewy, you know, they tend to get really awkward really quick. Um, and then sometimes, man, I just want to shut down. I don't want to say anything to anybody, which is my natural inclination, anyways. I'm an introvert. Um, you know, I'm an introvert by nature. It's the way I've always been. And sometimes I think maybe I'm trying to force issues. Force a square peg into a round hole, and trying to be too communicative. And maybe it's just not in my nature to do so. So yeah, I don't know, man. There's just days I just really would rather not speak to anybody. But then there's that other part of me that does want to. So, but in small doses, I can only handle people and conversations and small talk and all that only in very small doses, and then I start to get very, very fatigued, and I start to check out of the conversation, and that's when things start to go weird. Um, but yeah, these this small talk, this notion of small talk, I have to learn just to keep it simple. Yeah, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm going okay. Okay, I'm doing good too. Yeah, how's the weather? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, the weather's great, and okay, yeah, and so just keep it real simple. Don't go any deeper than that. Um, when you're talking to the clerk at the soda pop store, right, or at the convenience store, right, the gas station. Um, but, and then there's times I think, man, maybe it's just depression, because I know I suffer from severe depression at times. And then, I just, it just takes all of my energy, it seems, to be able to bridge that gap, to be able to say anything. Yeah, just to be able to have a conversation with a normal conversation with another human being, when everything, it just seems like, it could be a sunny day and it still seems like, it's pouring down rain outside, and it's just cloudy and gloomy, and so yeah, depression is a bitch. Yeah, it's tough stuff, man. I feel for anybody that suffers from depression. I mean, we all get the blues from time to time, but I'm talking severe black depression. And hey, man, I feel fortunate that mine is not worse than what it actually is. I have friends and acquaintances that I know their depression it's severe, it's chronic, and it just takes a toll on people that have that kind of depression. I see the toll that it takes on friends of mine, and then I see the ultimate toll that it takes on some people. I've seen that many times through the years. People just decide they've had enough, and they've done everything that they feel they possibly could to get some relief, but it just doesn't happen for them, and they take the ultimate way out. Yeah, I've known a few people that have done that. And I think for me that idea is always in the back of my mind. Like, man, I am just tired of dealing with this chronic depression, and this inability to bridge this gap with my fellow man. And boy, it's just exhausting sometimes. And man, so anyway, I figure, I'm just gonna keep plugging away, and maybe if I can keep doing these videos, maybe I can just kind of spontaneously be able to use my voice better. Not trying to force conversations, but when those opportunities do arise, then maybe, the voice and the, maybe I'll have the voice and the clarity and the ability to engage in those, you know, um, those types of communication and conversations when the opportunity does arise. Anyways, I know that probably, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but to me in my head, it does. So I'm going to give this video a listen. I'm not going to try to key in on it too much. I just want to make sure, maybe check different parts of the video and see if what I'm saying is coming out audibly and clear. And I'm just going to keep practicing, man. So anyways, I hope everyone else is having a great day, and I'll talk to you all later. So thank you.